So moving on to, it looks like the government shutdown now from Speaker Mike Johnson. Are Democrats suggesting they want to go to court to stop paychecks from being issued to our troops? Yeah, would that surprise anybody to hear that? It wouldn't surprise me. Bring it on. I'm grateful for a commander-in-chief who is prioritizing the brave men and women serving in our military, even while Democrats are working and voting repeatedly to block their hard-earned pay. So President Trump and Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, they were able to allocate funds that were directed to the Pentagon. Not sure exactly where it was directed to or what it was to be used for, but they were able to route those funds that were already earmarked for the Pentagon, and they're using those funds to pay the troops. And they're going to do that in the meantime, I guess either until those funds run out or until they reopen the government. Not exactly sure. They didn't say exactly how much money it was, at least not from what I read. I just know that that's where they're getting it from. And yeah, it looks like Democrats are really pissed off about it. It's like, what? I don't understand, man. I don't even know who the hell is even in control of the Democratic Party. Even apparently Democrats don't even know.
My understanding of this is they have every right to move the funds around, duly appropriated dollars from Congress to the Department of Defense. There were some R&D accounts that had not been spent.
There you go. R&D.
My understanding is that's the money that's being used to pay the troops right now. If the Democrats want to go to court and challenge troops being paid, bring it, okay? I'm grateful for a commander-in-chief who understands the priorities of the country.
Yeah, please do that.
The necessity of national defense and the urgency that we all feel and have voted for 8 times. Republicans have voted in Congress 8 times now between House and Senate to fund the troops and pay federal workers in all these essential jobs and agencies, because we understand the necessity of that. Meanwhile, the Democrats voted 8 times to block their paychecks.
To block.
I'm grateful we have a president who is willing to step up and do the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's great is that once the government gets reopened, I'm sure the funds that were spent from R&D to pay the troops could just be put right back into the R&D. Just make it full again. And this is from Rapid Response again. So the president on responding to the Democrat shutdown. The Democrats are getting killed on the shutdown. We're closing up programs that are Democrat programs, and we're going to have a list of them on Friday. So mark your calendars, y'all. I'm going to be going over that because it should be announced by the time that I do my show, which I usually start around 7, 8 o'clock at the latest. Being Friday, I'll probably get an earlier start. So anyway, closing up some of the most egregious socialist, semi-communist programs. And yeah, he is absolutely right, man. They are getting absolutely wrecked. I've shown on this show time and time again. I've shown Democrat accounts of the individual politicians. I've shown Senate Democrats, their official profile. The same with House Democrats as well. Post after post after post is just getting ratioed, meaning that they're getting a lot more comments than they're getting likes, which 99% of the time is really, really bad. Because it doesn't take any effort just to click the like button and just move on to the next post when you're scrolling. It actually takes a bit of effort for you to click on a comment and actually leave a comment. So people tend to leave negative comments over positive ones, especially when it comes to political matters. And yeah, man, they are getting absolutely wrecked. They still are, man, and it's been 2 weeks already. So this is from, oh wait, hold on. Actually, no, I don't think I'm playing.
Honestly,
here we
go.
go.
Put it in plain words for you. And you're a smart guy, so you'll understand.
Get a little ahead of myself.
People don't. The Democrats are getting killed on the shutdown because we're closing up programs that are Democrat programs that we were opposed to. So we're being able, and they're never going to come back in many cases. So we're being able to do things that we were unable to do before. So we're closing up programs that are Democrat programs that we wanted to close up or that we never wanted to happen. And now we're closing them up. And we're not going to let them come back. The Democrats are getting killed. And we're going to have a list of them on Friday, closing up some of the most egregious, socialist, semi-communist, probably not full communist, we're saving that for New York, but semi-communist programs. And we're closing them up.
Well, and that's the problem with these stupid omnibus spending bills and these giant packages where they take 1,000 fucking bills and they pack them all into one single super bill. And they've been doing that for like, what, a couple of decades now at this point? And it's absolutely ridiculous, man. It should be one bill at a time. And then the politicians complain that, oh my God, that would take forever. It would take forever and a day. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. That way we don't have to pass tons of shit that nobody really needs, which is where I'm sure the vast majority of these programs came from. They were buried in one of these annual bills that consist of thousands of pages that nobody reads, and millions of dollars get sent to this department, create that department, and it just goes to all kinds, countless billions of dollars going to a bunch of woke bullshit that we don't need that benefits other countries, doesn't even benefit us at all. And now we're sitting in over $37 trillion in debt.
We're closing up Republican programs because we think they work. So the Democrats are getting killed, but they're not telling the people about that. I say it, nobody, well, I haven't said it probably as bluntly as I just said it. But so we are closing up Democrat programs that we think that we disagree with, and they're never going to open again.
Oh shit, I was on mute. Yeah, God willing, man. I hope they don't fucking reopen again. So yeah, that's good. I've been waiting for that, man. I've been waiting for that for a couple of weeks. We all have to wait and see, because right from the get-go, President Trump made it pretty clear that once the government shut down, we're going to start looking at different areas of the government that we're going to start shutting down. We're going to start laying off a lot of people. And we've been waiting for it, but I'm sure they've been behind the scenes compiling a list. They've already let go thousands of employees. I believe the Department of Education was one of them. And the EPA, there were a lot of people that were laid off from the EPA. It was like 1,500 people from the EPA. There's already been a list that's been produced of the layoffs that have occurred so far. And they're permanent layoffs. And we're about to get a hell of a lot more come Friday. Can't wait to see what they're going to do with that. Downsizing the government. It always sucks when people lose jobs. Nobody is all for that. It sucks it has to be this way, but a lot of these positions, if not all of them, that they're looking to lay off shouldn't have even existed in the first place. With 3 million federal employees that are employed by the government, it is insanely overbloated, at least in my opinion. So Caroline Leavitt, Trump continues payments to troops. Bureaucrat layoffs. Administration will ride out the Democrats' intransigence. Oh my God, I can't say that word. All right, anyway, so this is from Breitbart. Trump continues payments to troops. And we've got the Trump administration. They will continue to pay troops and law enforcement and issue more reductions in force of federal bureaucrats as the Democrat shutdown continues. The White House Office of Management and Budget said on Tuesday, OMB is making every preparation to batten down the hatches and ride out the Democrats' intransigence. I don't even know, man. I am not familiar with that word. Words are hard sometimes. All right, pay the troops, pay law enforcement, continue the RIFs, reductions in force, and wait, OMB wrote on X. And that was today, 9:16 in the morning. As news outlets say that this Democrat shutdown could be one of the nation's longest, the Trump administration has moved to pay the nation's service members and law enforcement and continue reductions in force. The longest shutdown occurred in 2018 by the Democrats, no surprise, because of evil Orange Man, and it was 35 days. That's the longest government shutdown that we've ever had in American history. It was 35 days in length. As I've predicted, I think it's going to go way longer than that. A lot of Republican politicians believe that they are waiting for this stupid No Kings protest that's happening in D.C. I think it's this weekend. They think after that happens, after the Democrats have adequately virtue signaled to their far left base, then they will proceed to open up the government again. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to leave it shut down for potentially months on end. I don't know if they're going to strictly dig their heels in on the illegal immigrant aspect of the healthcare, but at the very least, they want these tax credits left over from the COVID era, the ACA tax credits, Affordable Care Act, to continue for the next 10 years. And it's going to cost, I believe it's $200 billion. That's what they want added to this CR bill. And I would say, in my opinion, COVID is over. It is completely over. And yeah, if health insurance is going to skyrocket for a lot of people, I'm sure it will, because it was already expensive when COVID started. So they came out with these tax credits to artificially lower the cost of healthcare for some people who benefited from it. I didn't. I'm sure most of us didn't. I mean, most of us are stuck having to pay private insurance. And now that it's been 5 years and COVID's no longer an issue, they're going to expire. And of course, their rates are going to go right back up to where they were at the beginning, plus whatever the inflation rate, whatever it's going to be now. So, and of course, they're blaming Republicans for it, even though we're talking Obamacare here. So let's see. As news outlets say, all right, hold on. Like during a typical government shutdown, federal workers are furloughed and do not receive pay. However, the Trump administration has moved to issue RIFs that eliminate a position within the morass of the federal government. Initial reports have found that the Trump administration has already swiftly issued roughly 4,600 RIFs across many major departments of the federal government, including the Commerce Department, Education Department, Energy Department, Department of Health and Human Services, Department of Housing and Urban Development, Department of Homeland Security, and the Treasury Department. I'm pretty sure environmental is going to be in. Yeah, I don't know. I know I read that somewhere, but I guess I've been wrong before. So the following defendant agencies began issuing RAF notices related to the lapse in approved, what does this say? Approval or approved? Appropriations today, October 10th, to approximately the following number of employees. So it's right here on your screen if you want to take a look at that. Pause the video for a second and then read that. So it's in at least, 3,000 roughly employees? Actually, didn't they mention almost 4,000? Something like that, but all right. Anyway, so quote, the president through OMB has determined that agencies should operate more efficiently and has directed them to consider steps to optimize their workforces in light of the ongoing lapse in appropriations, the Justice Department wrote in a legal filing. Quote, these RIF numbers from the court filing are just a snapshot in time. More RIFs are coming, end quote, an OMB spokesman said. Democrats decided to shut down the government because they think free health care for illegal aliens is more important than the American people, White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson said. And Chuck Schumer may think every day of the shutdown gets better for the radical left, but the American people disagree, she added. President Trump is working hard to mitigate the pain caused by the Democrats by finding solutions to pay the military and fund other critical services that the Democrats couldn't care less about. At least it would seem that they wouldn't. And just the fact that Mike Johnson is mentioning the possibility of a court case coming up from paying the troops, it just leads me to believe that they're obviously talking about it. They're obviously weighing the pros and cons with regard to that. And since the Democrats, they've got a long history of doubling down and doubling down. Wouldn't surprise me if they do that. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you take a quick second to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And check out The Swamp, which drops Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern, covering the daily happenings inside the federal machine. Thank you very much for watching.